Well, we got camp set up. I got a lantern over there. I got a lantern over there. We should be able to light this area up pretty good. I got my pad in there, ready to go. It was slow going. We went through 4 stainless steel bottles of water, is what we did. And I would say it's mainly the dogs that drank them all, is what it is. So he's going down to the river down there, and he's going to filter some water and fill them back up and bring them up. Wow. I can't believe how many ticks were back there when we hit the long grass and the trees. They were even on the branches. So they must have climbed up the tree and they were hanging off the branches. It was crazy how many there was. So I'm over here on rock. Can you see that behind me? Literally. And rock is what when the river floods, it comes up here and dumps all this. So with the pads, it won't be bad. I got my thermarest pad. The dogs don't mind laying on the rock. I guess the rock is pretty cool. So they don't seem to mind that whatsoever. They're laying down here at my feet. And their bowls are half full of water, so I guess they're all cameled up now. My black fat German Shepherd drinks more than Nova does. Oh my God, Nova. It wasn't very ladylike. I don't know if you guys heard that. She was burping. So everything that was out here on the ground is inside the tent or inside my pack is where it's at. The type of food we don't have no mountain house. Nope, too damn expensive. I've got 2 cans of chunky soup, which were like $3 each. And I've got some Knorrs, Parmesan or something like that you just add water to. And those were $1 each. I think my son's got a ramen noodles because he likes those things. I can't stand those things. But he seems to like it. So, I'm not hungry right now. I am more exhausted and tired than I am anything else because of that heat. The heat is horrible. I mean, it's just nuts, is what it is. Now, I originally had both dogs on one leash, where I wrapped the leash around the tree and kind of separated both ends. It was okay for a little while, but my male, he started getting pretty pissed off when the female got stepping on him or near him or anything like that. He started to get some serious growls. So I had to pull out my second leash because I carry 2 and separate them a little bit. And I got them separated a little bit. So, and that put an end to that. Just the things that you have to consider when you're taking 2 dogs with you. Can you imagine if you were taking the wife and a couple of kids and everything? I mean, I don't think you could carry that weight. I really don't. I think you'd have a buggy behind you or something, is what it is. I took some pictures, sent them to the wife. I says, "Miss you." She says, "I'm good. I'm good." Too funny. There is no way my wife's back could take this after just having surgery. She had surgery, 2 months ago? And that's where they fused one of her spines in her back. She's been in a lazy boy. I didn't make an update. She's now walking a little bit. She's cooking a little bit. Gotten in a couple arguments because she doesn't want to move from the chair because she's in pain. But basically, for 2 months, she sat in that chair and deteriorated her muscles. So now I got to kick her ass and get her moving and get that muscle tone back again. She is lifting weights in her chair. She is doing that. I'm kind of making her sit outside to get some vitamin D. She yells at me, calls me names every time I do. I say, "I know it's rough pushing that button on that chair and have it lift you out. And you walk outside over to the side yard and you sit on the bench and get some vitamin E. And the cat comes over and you pet the cat. That's rough. He says, shut up. I'm hurt. And he says, yeah, you're going to make yourself a lot worse and you're going to die sooner if you keep that up. You got to keep moving, man. You got to keep moving. Or I'm telling you, the Grim Reaper will come calling. If you're not moving and you're just laying around watching TV or... No, get out and walk. Do something. Build something. Go do what I'm doing. It wasn't that hard. Walk a couple miles in. You know, set up a chair, relax a little bit. Set up camp. I think it took my son like 2-3 hours to set up his tent. He just had such a hard time with that tent. And this was hard here. I mean, it's all rock. His tent operates on stakes, or my tent's operating on poles. So, you know, you put a stake in, it pops right out, right? I had to reach in and grab my heavy-duty stakes. I got some real long ones. And I hit him. And he was like, oh my God, those stakes are amazing. I said, yes, there's a reason I carry those. I do carry probably 10 pounds in extra weight for the items I carry. You know, for most of my medicals for my dogs. They get bit by a snake or I can give them Benadryl or whatever, stuff like that. But a lot of things I carry in case something goes wrong. And actually, something did go wrong. He was using trekking poles to put up that Dan Durston tent. And he didn't pay attention to what it said on the pole. On the pole it says stop. Well, he just kept pulling the pole up. He doesn't read, you know. So you see the spring now popping out of the pole. I don't know if I'm going to get that fixed or how I'm going to fix that. It looks like it was pressed in. I don't know. I'm going to have to do some chat GPT and some looking up to see how I fix that pole. It's kind of like he screwed it too far and I can't get it back in. So I don't know. So I'm going to have to see about that. You know what's funny? I do see the odd person that comes down the river in a kayak or a boat. And I'm sitting here in this camouflage shirt and camouflage. They don't see me. They really do. I'm just sitting there in the chair looking, and I can see them, but they look over here. I don't think they notice me as much. You know, I didn't see one guy look at the other guy and say, hey, there's somebody over there. Nothing. Unless people don't give a shit. They're just ignoring everybody. That's probably, maybe that's it. I don't know. But the way I've got this set up with the 2 lanterns, because I brought 2 lanterns, and I made a video a while back how I bought another one off of Gear Trade. I got it for half the price. So I got one beside his tent, one beside my tent. We should get a nice glow out here. And for, you know, 4 or 5 hours, whatever. We're only out for the one night. So the dogs seem excited. And I'm going to find out. I think there's enough room in my tent to put them both in there. And I like how high. I don't know if you can see that, how high this tent is. Because when the dogs lay down, they can't see nothing out here. So unless they hear something, they're not going to get overly crazy, right? They're just going to kind of sit back and relax. Now, the last time I came out here, if you remember, the people that have been around my channel longest, my back got thrown out. And was the first time it ever happened in my life. And I barely got out. I mean, my son had to come get me. But, and I never, it's the first time I've ever had that happen. I never knew what that was like. You know, when I threw that out, I couldn't carry it back. I couldn't do nothing. I sat in this chair for like 3 hours before I called my wife and my son for help. And I just couldn't believe how bad your back is when you throw it out. That was the first time it happened in my entire life. And it's pretty good now. It's healed up really good. There's been a couple times I felt it where it started to be quite sore. And then I thought, no, I'm not pushing it. And I waited a couple days and it healed up and I was back to normal again. But that's I don't wish that on my worst enemy. That's a horrible thing when you throw your back out. I could just imagine if shit hits the fan and people got to start doing that, their backs get thrown out. I mean, can you imagine it? You're going to see people laying all over the place, trying to hope their backs heal up. It's just horrible. You'll see them trying to push people into underneath bushes to keep them hid. Jeez. It's just crazy. But I'm higher than people. So if people did come and walk in on me, I'm carrying my firearm. I always do. So, nothing much to worry about there. Like I stated in my last video, if you watched it, my firearm is inside my chest rig, which is inside my tent behind me. So, but it's really nice. It's very comfortable. I'm not hungry, so I guess when he gets back after filtering some water, I'll guzzle some water. And I don't know, maybe later tonight I'll make some chunky soup or something. Okay, I want to show you guys something. I'm going to set up my tree stand, tree shelf here, and I want to have a coffee. So notice this thing here. Okay, see that vine? Notice those leaves. See that? Look what it connects to at the top. You see the size of that thing? That is poison ivy. If you grab that when you're walking through, or any of this, you're going to have it all over you. Isn't that something? Those big, thick vines that you see in Tennessee, they're deadly. And don't even think about putting it in a pile and lighting it on fire, because if you breathe that, oh, that'll mess you up something fierce. I need to cut these. Okay, there's my little tree stand thing there. My tree shelf. And maybe move this up a little bit. There we go. Get it almost level. There. So that should be able to make me some tea, and I'm not laying on the ground. Let's hope. Okay, so here's the setup. We got the tree shelf. We're burning alcohol. Why did that fall? And there's my coffee, ready to go. That's working good. When that's boiling, all I do is dump it on that filter back there. And voila, coffee. Ah, the comforts of home. These are considered things that are spoiling me. Look at that. So I get to sit in my chair. I gotta be careful. And cook my coffee. Why does that keep going? I'm telling you, Silver Ant stuff is better. So look at that, perk coffee in the wilderness. That's awesome. So do I have enough room? Look at this. I'm laying here on my pad. Both dogs are laying down. I got a bunch of stuff in here. I think we're going to be good tonight. Still 80, waiting for it to cool off.